You guys ready?
Yep.
All right, we'll call the Ways and Means hearing to order. Sharita, please call the roll.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I don't have the sheet. Let's group this. Alderwoman Davis.
Present.
Alderman Coatar. I'm sorry, Alderman Vaccaro. Alderwoman Howard. Alderwoman Hubbard.
Present.
Alderwoman Murphy. Alderwoman Spencer. Alderman Muhammad. Alderman Oldenburg.
Here.
Alderwoman Boyd.
Here.
Alderwoman Hubbard.
Present.
Chairman Vollmer.
Present.
7 present, you have quorum.
Okay, we'll save excuse Alderman for the last part of the meeting. We have approval of the minutes from the meeting of June 26th. Second, okay. So you take a roll, please.
Alderwoman Davis.
Aye.
Alderman Vaccaro. Alderwoman Howard. Alderwoman Hubbard.
Aye.
Alderwoman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderwoman Spencer. Alderman Muhammad. Alderman Oldenburg.
Aye.
Alderwoman Boyd.
Aye.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard.
Aye.
Chairman Vollmer.
Aye.
That's 8 aye votes.
All right. At the request of the sponsor, we're going to take up Board Bill 83 first. So, Alderman, please continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. And David, this is a public hearing as well. So we're here today asking for approval of a community improvement district in the Soulard neighborhood. This is something the neighbors have been working on for many years. This is not a single site SID like we often see. This is an actual district-wide SID, and for dramatic effect, counsel for the SID has given me this. This is the complete application with all the signatures. We didn't make that. We gave you the actual petition, but left the signatures off. They're all here if you do want to see them. So for the past year and a half, how long have we been gathering signatures?
We've been doing this since 2016.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a while. My Alderwoman Young, my predecessor, and a number of very involved neighbors, who many of whom are here today, have been going around talking to property owners within the district, explaining the process to them, gathering their support for this SID. I know a number of other neighborhoods have district-wide SIDs, and the goal of this one is primarily to look at sort of our infrastructure needs, beautification efforts, lighting initiatives, and sort of actual planning for Soulard. Soulard's a neighborhood that's seen tremendous growth. It has a vibrant business district. This SID would propose a 1% tax on retail sales in the district. So it's not a property tax. In fact, we already have a property tax district, an SBD, that covers pretty much the Soulard neighborhood, and then the Kosciuszko neighborhood, which is the industrial area to the river, that helps fund safety initiatives in the neighborhood, which includes supplemental patrols and cameras. The purpose of this is to sort of complement that and see what else we can do besides just paying for extra patrols to help the neighborhood. So this is going to be centered on streetscape improvements, lighting, things of that nature. We've got a board that we're hoping to set up because we have to name an initial board, and it's comprised of residents from the district that have to be property owners per the SID Act. It's comprised of commercial business owners. Obviously, the commercial businesses are the ones that will be actually funding this thing through a sales tax. And then representatives of the 2 major neighborhood associations. So down in Soulard, we have 2 very vibrant and active community associations. We have the Soulard Restoration Group, which is the more residential group. It's been around for a very long time, helped save so many buildings in Soulard. And we have a Soulard Business Association comprised of, the bars and restaurants and some other retail establishments. And so a representative of each of those groups would serve on the committee. And if you look on page 5 of 6 of the actual board bill, you can see that initial committee that we're proposing. These are all folks who are known in the neighborhood and leaders in the neighborhood, many of whom helped gather the signatures and get this effort to where it is today. So we're here just under the wire, obviously almost out of time. We're trying to get this done. The reason we're under the wire is because this process has taken a while and we're getting back into the commercial or the reassessment phase. So we're trying to get this done, and we luckily went and got our signatures. This has been approved by the assessor. We're trying to beat the reassessment because we'd have to start at square one with gathering our signatures if we couldn't get it done before the next residential reassessment. So I know this is a public hearing, Chairman. I don't know. I'll defer to you on how you want to handle
Well,
that.
I don't know if there's anyone, I did not see a sign-up sheet for this, but is there anyone here who would like to speak for or against this bill? Okay, what we will do is, since there's no sign-up sheet, we'll start, kind of move up to the front row here so I know where you're at, and we'll call you up. Gentleman in the plaid shirt, gray shirt, and the gentleman in the Unity T-shirt. Are those the only three I saw wanting to speak?
Anybody else?
Can they sign it?
Okay, is there a sign-in sheet?
I will make a sign-in sheet.
Okay.
You got some. Here we go.
If you come up, sign your name so we can call you. This is a public record. Remember, you are on television, so smile.
What is this, Board Bill 83?
Board Bill 83.
Write it down here to be clear. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to step out of the, you need a pen? I do. Yes, that would help.
This usually takes place earlier, but with the long meeting before us, we might have missed this step, so please bear with us. All right. Everyone who's wanted to sign up, sign up. This is your last chance. Okay. Thank you very much. We will start with Christopher. Is it Schwartz? Schwartz. All right, sir. Please feel free. We'll try and limit our time to about 3 minutes, if it's okay.
Not a problem.
All right, thank you.
My name is Christopher Schwartz. I'm a resident of Soulard. I also serve on the board of the Soulard Restoration Group as the treasurer. Thank you for the opportunity to talk. Our president couldn't be here today, so I'd like to take just a couple seconds. The SID came before the board 2 years ago. While it hasn't been a unanimous effort, it's been robust and profuse. With a membership of over 400 residents, we feel we are a very good representative of the neighborhood and the opinions within it. And after a lot of discussion, both at board meetings, at general membership meetings, and at the gatherings surrounding those, we believe this is a great opportunity for the neighborhood. As everyone knows, Soulard serves as a de facto entertainment district and historic district, and we have challenges going forward. There's not really another organization that's designed to address some of those issues that Alderman Coatar brought up, so we feel this is a great opportunity for us to give back to the neighborhood through all the patronage of people coming into the neighborhood. So we hope that you, as a board, support this opportunity for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Anyone have any questions of the speaker? No. All right, thank you very much. You're fine, Mr. Schwartz, thank you. Next, Terry Hoffman.
Thank you and good morning, Board, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. My name's Terry Hoffman. I'm a 38-year resident of Soulard. Raised two daughters while we were personally renovating our 140-year-old house. So we lived through a lot of the challenges of what we felt was something that would help build strength and community in the Soulard neighborhood, and we feel that personally, we're a small part of what has led to the general success of Soulard over the years. I was also on the SID coordinating committee to help get signatures on the petitions, myself as well as quite a few other people. The stack you're seeing here represents a little over 60% of the property owners within the proposed SID. We felt that we probably could have gotten a heck of a lot more signatures, but there are so many out-of-area property owners. They were just so difficult to get a hold of. We couldn't reach them. They were out of state, out of the city, but felt that we would have gotten more had we been able to get the message out to more people. The vast majority of people we talked to were supportive of the SID. They had a lot of questions, a lot of clarifications, a lot of concerns, but we were able to address those concerns, and as a result, we have a significant majority of the neighborhood that is in support of the SID. I'm not going to go through all of the benefits that I think the SID will deliver because Jack has already outlined those, but I personally feel that the board that has been designated to make up the SID board will be very fiduciarily responsible in how they allocate and spend monies for the SID, for the betterment of the SID boundaries, as well as for the betterment of the greater area of Soulard. So, again, thank you for letting me speak, and with that, I would respectfully request your approval of the bill. And we also have several other Soulard neighbors in the boardroom today as well that are also supporters of the SID. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, Marshall Cohen. All right.
Thanks for letting me speak. I'm the executive director of Lift for Life Academy. We have St. Louis's first charter school in the neighborhood, and we have about 9 properties, a little over 100,000 square feet. Students we serve come from all over the city, mainly children in poverty. I'm also associated with Globe Drug down the street and some of the other businesses. I'm another property owner of a small restaurant. And I have to say I'm against these taxing districts. I think the intentions are good, but we keep adding taxes to low income and people in poverty. 7th Street has if you're familiar with 7th Street, where Jimmy John's and all that is and where our school is, west of that are all these wonderful things going on with Soulard and all the bars and the great pull that it's doing to the community. However, I want us to consider if we can pull off the eastern properties that serve a lot of low-income people, and also having a 1% tax. It doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're going to Jimmy John's and buying a sandwich or going to Globe Drug, it adds up. And I think that's not the way to, that's just my opinion, to do this. I would hope that there's some type of compromise where we can pull off the eastern properties off of this. I know some of the owners didn't sign this petition that are against this, but they want to be somewhat, not upset the people that are doing this because they're afraid that, it's not, it might hurt their business that they didn't sign it. That's really all. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Any questions of the speaker? None? Okay. Phyllis Young.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. It's my pleasure to be here today, and I'm excited about this process because you wondered what I've been doing since I retired, and this is part of it. But I want you to know that even though David said that it started in 2016, we were talking about a SID in Soulard since 2011, 2012. And it's, as you can tell, a major effort, and I look forward to the benefits that will be derived from this for both sides of Broadway and for the entire neighborhood. As you know, when you put a SID in place, it benefits everything around it, because if you raise up that portion of the neighborhood, the entire neighborhood comes up. And we are seeing our neighborhood changed dramatically, and as somebody said, I've been in the neighborhood since '78, so I've seen lots of changes, and more are happening quicker all the time now because people like the neighborhood, and I hope that you can support this SID. While it may impact low-income families, I think the most people we see in our neighborhood are people who are coming from the county or from Illinois and want to park for free on ball game or sporting events nights, and they're going to the bars, and they're not going to be worrying about the penny that we're charging them for addition on their dollar, because they're there to party, and when they leave, we're picking up the trash. And we're doing the improvements that are necessary to make it an attractive neighborhood for them. So I hope that you can help us in our efforts to make our neighborhood strong and beautiful, and supporting effort for the entire city, because all of us thrive together. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any questions of the speaker? Alderman Hubbard? Go
Thank
ahead.
you, Mr. Chairman. So are there any estimates on like roughly how much it would generate? Like what's the number, like what are their retail sales or whatever in Soulard as it is already?
Our sales projections came from like 2016,
Okay.
and at that time, they were estimating $500,000 a year, and it would be raised by the sales tax. Since that time, a number of major apartment developments have occurred, and so I think we'll see more foot traffic than that. But I would be happy with $500,000 a year to use in the neighborhood. That's more than I ever had as an alderman to use in my entire ward.
If I could comment on that, getting sales tax numbers, we get them sort of generally. We don't get a breakdown by business. I mean, once the SID's in place, they've got to submit that to the state, who then remits it back to the taxing district. But the vast majority of that $500,000 number comes from the bars in the neighborhood, and specifically like 2 or 3 bars make up a big chunk of that. So, I'm certainly cognizant of Marshall's concerns, and I'm very appreciative of all he's doing on the east side of 7th Street to improve our business district over there. And frankly, I think this SID, those businesses are in the SID, and we will commit to using funds for improvement of that business district, which has seen some great success with Marshall's investments and some other businesses over there. But the vast majority of funds are going to come from the sale of Bud Light and chicken wings.
Okay. And so I guess your SID board, or however it's structured, how is that representative of the entire neighborhood? How is that structured?
So as I mentioned earlier, it's made up of a couple of property owners, residential property owners, some commercial property owners, and then it's also made up of, here's my breakdown here, 3 residential owner occupants, 2 commercial property owners, a nominee from the SRG, which is primarily our residential group that you heard from Mr. Schwartz on, and a nominee from the Business Association, from the Soulard Business Association.
Okay, and so they'll be making decisions on how that money is spent.
Correct. And we would be approving the initial board today, but much like all the other SIDs and TDDs that we appoint people to at various meetings, they've got to go through the advice and consent process once these initial terms expire.
Okay, all right, no further questions.
Okay. No further questions of Ms. Young? All right. Alderman, you're welcome to close.
I don't have much else to add. I'm extremely appreciative of the work that Phyllis and Julie and Terry and Lisa and Chris and so many people in the neighborhood have put in over the last couple of years working on this, and even well before my time as alderman, and would appreciate your support and a do-pass recommendation on this Soulard SID.
Okay, hearing that, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to pass Board Bill 83 out with a due-pass recommendation.
Second?
Sharita, roll call, please. Is there any objection to previous roll? Objection, so please, Sharita.
On the minutes. She was on the minutes.
She's on the minutes?
You are on the
are,
minutes.
yes.
Oh, good, okay.
No objection on the previous roll? Okay, with that, Board Bill 83 passes out with a do-pass recommendation.
Thank you, committee.
All right. Well, might as well stay there, Mr. Coatar. We have Board Bill 82. That certainly cleared the room. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, guys. All right.
All right,
so
Alderman,
we're on-
proceed whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. I'm trying to figure out what bill we're on. I'm on. this is
82.
82, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so for those of you that were here for the end of the last meeting, Board Bill 82 is the expansion of an existing single-site community improvement district for the Hotel St. Louis at 705 Olive to support the redevelopment of the chemical building, which will be 84 additional hotel rooms for the Hotel St. Louis and a number of market-rate apartments on the upper floor, 72 apartments to be exact. As you heard, the previous bill, which dealt with the tax abatement, passed out of committee. We're essentially extending a number of the incentives utilized on the first phase of Hotel St. Louis to the building next door, which is the chemical building. For background, there's been 6 failed developments of the chemical building since 2008. A number of developers have gone bankrupt attempting to redevelop it. This SID is just one part of it. It would be a tax on retail sales. Is this $450 new, or is that the full SID?
That's the new document.
Okay, so the $450 would be in addition to what the SID's already collecting for the retail sales at 705 Olive, which has been a huge success, which is one of the reasons, less than a year after opening the doors, the developer is seeking to purchase the building next door and expand the hotel and the restaurant footprint and everything else. And so I don't know if you're at street level, basically the plan is to take 705, the existing hotel, blow out a wall, we're vacating an alley, expanding this first floor lobby into the new building. And there will be a retail component, some sort of marketplace on the first floor. There'll be additional ballroom space and other things, and it's estimated it'll generate about $450,000, which will help pay off debt on the project. So this is this is an expansion of a single site SID, which we probably see more of here in this committee.
All right, is there anyone else you have to speak on this?
No.
Just necessary for questions? Okay. We'll open up the questions. Alderwoman Davis.
I've been in the hot seat all day.
I know you have, but I honestly don't have any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Alderwoman. Alderman Vaccaro.
No questions.
Thank you, sir. Alderwoman Howard. Not present, okay. Alderwoman Hubbard.
No questions.
Alderwoman Murphy.
No questions, thank you.
Spencer Mohammed. Alderman Oldenburg is currently out of the room. Alderwoman Boyd, any questions? All right. Alderman Clark Hubbard, any questions?
No questions.
Okay. Having sat through most of the last meeting, I think most of my questions were answered in quite substantial detail. So it shows to pay up on time early, as my father always told me. So hearing no questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion with pass board bill.
Second.
Okay, Sharita, roll call.
Yeah, because people left, so.
Previous. Oh, this is a new bill. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, Sharita, roll call, please.
Alderwoman Davis.
Aye.
Alderman Vaccaro. Alderwoman Howard. Alderwoman Hubbard. Alderwoman Murphy. Alderwoman Spencer. Alderman Muhammad. Alderman Oldenburg. Alderwoman Boyd. Alderwoman Clark Hubbard.
Aye.
Chairman Vollmer.
Aye.
That's 6 aye votes.
All right.
Thank you,
Do
Mr.
pass
Chairman,
board bill
members of the
throughout with the due pass recommendation. That concludes the board bill section. We have, we'll excuse Alderman Spencer, Alderman Muhammad for necessary absence, also Alderman Howard.
Yes.
With that, we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
All right.
Here a second? Second. Meeting adjourned.